Hello and welcome. I am Geran and these are my first impressions of the Miskatonic. This is something between a visual novel and a point-and-click adventure based on the Cthulhu mythos by H.P. Lovecraft. I almost didn't make this when I discovered the whole visual novel thing, but I just look at that. From that you can see sort of why I like this. The art style is beautiful. Bonjour, wee children. My name is Marie Peanut Butter, head of occult science at the Miskatonic University. Ours is the most prestigious institution of dark magic, the occult, and all the strange ghoulies that live in your peripheral vision. I am here today to tell you a story about a little girl that ruined everything, but ruining everything gives you the opportunities to make everything better, wee. I just love the art style, and I've seen it somewhere else before. The eyes in particular make me think of something else, but I can't think of what. What's that? You ask why I have a giant hand sticking out of my head. Well, that is because I am French. It is a thing we have, so no funny business, You'll learn about the strange things people are afflicted with throughout the story. After this, you'll think my handhead is cute and adorable, as you should. But first, let me describe to you the state of the world prior to the witch girl that ruined everything. Do not fret, you'll probably know this already, So, you are aware of the giant aliens that we call gods, and the cultists that worship them? No? Then let me tell you. Some worship Cthulhu, the giant man-octopus dragon thing. His cult teaches eternal patience, waiting for Cthulhu to come back to them so he can destroy the world. Rude. Some worship Yog-Sothoth, the ultra-dimensional god of knowledge. These smarty brains try to build portals to let him come here, but that would destroy the world too, not so smarty. Most humans, like our witch girl, worship Shub-Niggurath, known as the All-Mother. Even cultists for the gods will pray to Shub-Niggurath at the end of their spells and rituals. That is because Shub-Niggurath is the goddess of humanity. Her cults preach love and compassion among everyone. Very lovely, But, like our witch girls, some can be blinded by their desire for harmony. That would take advantage of the naive notions that all humans are loving and good. Not so lovely. Okay, so you know of gods now, So let's talk a small bit about the humans. Some countries have been more affected than others by the strange happenings of the universe. For example, in Canada. Yetis! Thousands of them! But the Canadians are well prepared. Yeti invasions are considered a national pastime. Brings a family, we'll shoot some Yetis. This is what us French call an English person. Note the sharp teeth, purple blush, and very wow. A couple decades ago it was discovered that a huge percentage of the English nobility were actually cannibals, breeding humans in underground caves like livestock. That I definitely know is a reference. I've read that story. Everyone in England went crazy when it was found out. Now they're all cannibals too. Apparently the Scottish just found it hilarious. This one is also my boyfriend, so not touching his ugly face, These little fellas are called Australians. When the Shoggoths left Antarctica, they came across a big island filled with lovely delicious humans. But these humans didn't want to be devoured, and even when half dissolved in the Shoggoth bellies, the humans would punch and kick and smash bottles inside them, making the Shoggoths very uncomfortable. So instead of trying to eat them, the Shoggoths formed this cute little symbiotic relationship with the Australians, granting them immortality in exchange for less punching, so the little Shanes and Sheilas can happily booze and barbecue away for all eternity. This is called an American. Note the silly haircut and gigantic bum. Specifically, this is the American that our story revolves around. The little witch girl that ruined everything. How can you tell she's a witch? Why, there are many clues. Example, the pasty skin, a symptom of spending her days asleep and her nights dancing naked in the rain with her coven to conjure strange hexes. Also, the little black choker thing. Oh yeah, there it is. It's the closest thing to a uniform they get, especially when they're naked. And she doesn't wash. Are you gonna make me look like a dumbass in this story? Cause it was only like 20% my fault. Our story begins with our smelly dumbass being briefed on the university's secret protocols, after just being hired as a security guard for the occult science building. But on her first assignment she discovers that all is not as it seems in the prestigious school. Thanks, nutsack. I've gotta say, really enjoying the vibe from this game already, and the art is still just beautiful. Now, Miss Lestrange, you understand that as a security agent, your off-site assignments are to be kept in the strictest confidence, even from the other members of faculty, and especially the students. I just love the art style, it's so cute. Uh-huh. You also understand that as a security agent, you will be in very real danger, both from physical harm and mental corruption. You understand that your body is subject to mutation at any point during your employment and residence in Arkham. Rad. And finally, you understand that, as a University of Occult Science, you're obliged to assist us with research regarding your supposed magical eyes, and failure to comply will result in your immediate dismissal. Sure. Well then, Miss Lestrange. Welcome to the Miskatonic University. Awesome! Johnny Legrasse. Ah, you must be the new security guard. Charlotte, right? Yep, that's me. Great, I'm Johnny, head of internal security. I'll be giving you a tour of the building you'll be patrolling, then I'll show you to your quarters. Ready to go? Sure. It's just, I can't get over how cute the art style is. I think it's the massive eyes. Well, you'll be working here in the Occult Science building. You're a witch, right? Have you dabbled in any occult science? Well, I'm pretty good at the occult stuff, though mostly I use it for errands and favours for folks. Plus a few hexes, curses, blights, just to keep up that witchy appearance. Blood into jam, bones into sponge cake, cat into mush, phallus into tiny screaming vestigial face. Normal stuff. Well, we do things a little differently here, this way. Awesome. This is the Ethereum, where our students can perform experiments on the Necronomicon. The creature acts as a shield to the outside world, keeping any experiments sterile and quarantining any unexpected summonings. Hi. Hello. We didn't know it could do that. Did you try talking to him? You're going to provide some much-needed common sense around here, Charlotte. This building also houses the Corporeum, a surgical theatre where our students can perform vivisections and autopsies on otherworldly creatures. Aha, speaking of which, this is Eddie, one of our monster hunters. Thanks to him, our Corporeum professors have been able to gather more information on living horrors than any other time in university history. Oh, it's Crazy Eddie. The trick is to figure out where its face is and then commence repeated punching. Who's the new girl? This is Charlotte Lestrange, a witch from the Chessencook Coven. She'll be working security for this building. Hi. Looking after us rascals, eh? Well, just give me a clip round the back of the head if you see me slacking off and I'll get back to work, eh, big stuff? I've been known to whip some ass with my big muscles. There you go. Come round the chop shop. You want to see what me and the lads wrangled up the other day? You witches like nightmares, right? Sure, well, the fun ones anyway, like when our teeth fall out and you smooth them off with sandpaper to make a lovely necklace. Or when you're running down a corridor in slow motion with a bunch of hands coming out of the carpet and grabbing your ankles and you finally stop to ask them what they want and it turns out your shoelaces were untied and they were just super concerned for your safety. Or when you're at school and you stand up in class but you forget your pants and you're embarrassed and everyone compliments your butt. Well, you're a bloody weird one, Charlotte. So you'll fit right in here. Don't let my sister catch wind of you. She won't leave you alone, you telling stories like that. Ah, and here's our curator of the Corporeum, Miss Marie Peanut Butter. She used to be a void shaman from Paris before coming to work with us. As fun as satisfying the void is, my true passion lies in discovering how things work out, At least, when they are dead. Groovy. What's a void shaman? You know those dark thoughts you have sometimes for seemingly no reason? The ones that tell you to jump when it's the edge of a cliff, or rob the bank when paying a paycheck, or drop-kick a grandma through a stained glass church window at a funeral? Oh yeah, I get those all the time. Well, those are not your thoughts. A few hundred years ago, the French aristocracy's way of life was so decadent and whim-filled, their unbridled sauciness only went and summoned a bloody hedonism god. Damn thing lives under the Paris catacombs, communicates telepathically with people all over the world, urging them to give in to their darkest whims. The French get it the worst, of course, so these here shamans take it upon themselves to do the dark deeds so the rest of France doesn't have to. Must be a right giggle. My last act as a shaman before coming here, I took my clothes off, covered myself in lemon cake and green food colouring, and terrorised the local village as a delicious swamp monster. I quite enjoyed that one. Shall we press on with the tour? Sure, bye you guys. So, not to be rude, but judging from the bandaged up arms and the sick eye scar and the terror lines in your hair, I'm guessing the impression that security work here is, a little dangerous? Oh, no, not for you at least. This occult science building is probably the safest on campus. Because if something went wrong in this building, we'd all be too dead to notice. Pff, don't listen to her, she's just a little jealous that the new girl gets the cushy gig, while she's stuck in the math department. What happens in the math department? What doesn't happen in the math department? There is nothing so cold, so unforgiving, so dark as the mathematicians. The universe is naught but an equation they shriek behind their burnt hair and sludge-tainted cardigans. One that can be solved. But how do you solve the equation of a dozen screaming children being ingested by a black swirling chasm of teeth and clawing hands opening at the far end of the classroom by one of their damnable equations? Damn you, young Henry. Carry that damn 2. So let's carry on with the tour. Next up is the library. Awesome! Each building hosts a small library dedicated to researching and documenting the subject that the building's students are studying. Here in the Occult Science building we keep an original copy of the Necronomicon, as well as translated copies for our foreign exchange students. That's a lot of knowledge. Oh wow, you can right click to get rid of the thing. That's a really cool touch, because basically every shot of this is beautiful. Ah, and here's our librarian, Charlotte. Meet Miss Emily Saccharin. Hoo-boo-loo. Hi, I love your mask. I didn't know you guys had a Shoggoth here, and a tame one too. Oh, Emily isn't a Shoggoth. She had a small accident with the Necronomicon a while ago, ended up like this. But our occult scientists learned an awful lot about what happens with these tomes of black knowledge when you spill your soy, no-whip, ice, caramel, macahito, 2 shots hazelnut on them. Huh. Sure looks like a Shoggoth. Purple, gooey, moderately adorable with a hint of terrifying. Well, that's the Necronomicon for you. It's funny, spilling a non-fat frappuccino with extra whipped cream and chocolate sauce just turns you into a puddle of loose bones and blood. Still, hasn't stopped Emily from performing her duties, eh, Emily? For you, Joe. Shall we press on? Okay, nice to meet you, Emily. Charlotte, this is Lizzie of Dunwich, our Yog Sothoth consultant. She's taught us quite a lot about the outer dimensions during her time here. Lizzie, Charlotte's the new security witch. Are you the sort of witch that does the naked in the rain, or the sort of witch that does the lucky charms and the big hats? The rain kind. You and me are gonna get along, yish. Lizzie is adorable. So, like, how come I can't... What are you? I'm a Lizzie. What are you? No, I mean, why do you look like a shadow, or like part of my eyeball has stopped working? It's 'cause humans can't see 'cause they's all afraidy of me and my sisters' appearances. Everything else can see me. That's why doggies are all tuck tails whenever I go near 'em. Lizzie is an example of a mental phenomenon found only in humans, known as cerebral voiding. It's a trick by the brain to preserve the sanity of its carrier. When a person comes across sights too horrible to comprehend, their brain refuses to render it, instead showing a black silhouette in place of the sight itself. I'm not sure if that actually breaks the Cthulhu mythos sort of over its knee. Debatable. Essentially, instead of Lizzie's insanity-inducing true form, your brain is protecting you by showing a shadow instead. But I saw that interviewer no problem, the guy whose face was just teeth and gums, and the girl with the hand sticking out of her head, and Emily the librarian. Yep, Lizzie and her Dunwichian sisters are in a league of their own when it comes to horrific appearances. We sent a lot of students to the asylum trying to figure her own. That's a reference to the Dunwich Horror, which I haven't read, but I really want to. That is awesome. Yeesh. Oops. Here's our head of catering, Mrs. Roth. She can cook anything with 3 or more legs. Yum! Hi! Oh, look at you witches, all skin and bones. You just let one of my little gremlins know what fills your tum and I'll whip it right up. What's the humanitarian dish for today? Dave from accounting, me dearest. Oh, pork sandwiches. Lummy yummy lum. We employ a small staff of cannibals from England. Eddie in the Corporium and Annie being 2 of them. They only eat fresh, accidental deaths with the family's consent. Usually. Oh, I get it. Humanitarian. It's funny. Well, once you're done with Johnny's little tour, let me know and I'll make you breakfast. You're making her into breakfast? Let me have the arse portion. We'll make steak and kidney pie, big old witch rump. You ain't eating no rump steak, Annie. Your little hoard's got poor old Dave. Ah, come on. At least let me have your ugly feet, eh? Nice and lean, covered in flavour and entirely useless. Look at 'em, all the way down there. when I'm done with them. Great, let me have a little appetizer, eh? Little lick between the toesies. Pre-brunch snacklet, how about it? Don't encourage her, dear. She'll be crawling all over me till your feet fall off. My bad. Speaking of cannibals... Good morning, Miskatonic. It's your favourite morning announcer, Mindy in the Morning. Bring you all the Miskatonic morning announcements as and when I see fit. It's currently 2:30 in the afternoon, so let's get started. Those of you students who volunteer for the submerged necromantic mutation testing, that has unfortunately been called off by Professor Baxter on the grounds that the school swimming pool is now alive. Lunch today will be turgid and depressing. And would the owner of a white child please report to the reception office? It's currently being towed. What was that? That's Mindy, the morning announcer. Does she do that a lot? Perpetually. You seem pretty comfortable around this stuff, Charlotte. Oh, I grew up in Maine. Not as many mutated folks, but they make up for it all with all the goofy supernatural happenings. Oh, thanks, Chasm. Come on, Charlotte. I've got to make a quick stop-off. What happened to her? Oh, that's Chasm, one of our portal diver team. They usually work out of Dunwich, coming back to write reports on their expeditions. When they come back, of course. So, let me make a quick stop and I'll show you to your room.
Johnny, so this is the strange girl, the crumbler, the ruiner.
Wow, look at this guy. I love how your coat melts into the floor. Yep, this is her, Charlotte. This is Dr. Thirst Valentine, the head of occult science and the discoverer of residual evil. His work taught the university about the lingering nature of documenting malicious entities. Essentially, he figured out why seemingly innocuous writings can summon horrific creatures or cause terrible curses.
It is why the books bleed.
That's cool. I had a book that kept growing teeth and screaming and whatnot. It was my diary, though.
Excellent. I shall inform my colleagues of your arrival.
Oh, I hope this guy doesn't talk too much, because damn, that hurts.
We will merrily indulge in the popped corn tartare.
I like him. I don't. The voice hurts. You know, you've come highly recommended, Charlotte. Oh yeah? By who? Charlotte! Look at that, they're so adorable. I can't believe they finally hired my twin baby monster. Rummin, what are you doing here? Got me some gainful employment. Teaching kids about old school dark magic. None of this occult science in my class. What have they got you teaching? Oh, you know, I'm in security, keeping folks safe, wandering the halls, swinging a comically large keychain, bopping folks on the head with a flashlight, top secret missions, stuff like that. Pretty on-point hiring selection, if you ask me. Huh, yeah, safety, that's definitely a keyword when I think of Charlotte Lestrange and her magic eyeballs. Hey, those cats turned inside out on their own. I sneezed. Hush your gums. Well, speaking of cosmic abominations, I gotta go teach a class of 18-year-olds how to turn blood into peanut butter by dancing in the rain. You're gonna love it here, Charlotte. The Miskatonic's just one big, like-minded community, all working towards making the world a better place, just like our coven. Come find me when you've got some time off. There was nothing cosmic about 'em, Rumen. They were just cats with their bones on the outside. They got better. So you two are in some kinda cult? Sort of. We're witch cultists of Shub Niggurath. Essentially, we believe that since the universe is filled with crazy, awful bullshit, that humans could be nice and loving to each other. Some of us, like the Cult of the Black Sun, have these awesome bake sales for their neighborhoods. Whereas others, like the Cult of Loveliness, hunt and slaughter encroaching monsters to protect their hometowns. We're sort of like goth Girl Scouts. What about you witches? We take all our clothes off and dance in the rain, typical witchy stuff. But we use black magic to do nice things for the townsfolk. Body-snatching breech birth babies to make them crawl out of their mom. Summoning fixer pixies when a guy's leg falls off. Using transmutation circles as portals for when the trash collectors want a week off. Stuff like that. Wait a minute. The Cult of the Black Sun do bake sales? And the Cult of Loveliness are monster hunters? That joke would have worked better if they hadn't addressed it. What? Does the Cult of Kill, Murder, Death plant gardens or something? Oh, you mean the Cult of Fetid Retribution? No, those guys deliver meals to old ladies. And what was that about magic eyes? Oh, don't worry about that. I just do this. Is it expecting me to click to make this stop? Because I kinda like it. and sometimes weird stuff happens in people's minds. Usually they forget something or get an eye twitch. As long as I don't use it on little animals, it's pretty harmless. Oh, okay, let's keep going. This is your room, a little tight, but the lunch ladies bring us security guys breakfast every day. I'll let you get settled, then you can explore your patrol route until Bob gives you your first assignment. It's perfect, thanks Johnny. Okay, I better go familiarise myself with my patrol route. Hello again, it's time for a quick tutorial, What, like half an hour in? You're about to get what's called Patrol Mode, wherein you're allowed to freely investigate the occult science building. Use your mouse to click characters to initiate conversations or doorways to move to other objects in the building. Charlotte's patrol will always start here outside her home. And don't forget to visit me at the Corporium, Okay. I'm actually going to leave it there, because I sort of love this, and I think I'm going to do this as a series, because I don't think it'll be that long. Yeah, quick Google says about 3 hours to complete, so if I do like episodes half an hour, 20 minutes to half an hour, then it should only be a few episodes. But I just love this. I love the art style, I love this the style of humour, I love the base content it's using. I just really enjoy this, so I hope that's okay with you guys. Let me know what you think of this so far. And the voices. A lot of variety in the voices, and some of them really hurt. But anyway, I suppose that fits. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back with more soon. Remember that you can have a say on my Patreon. Sorry, it's completely thrown me, this sudden decision to do this as a series. You can have your say on future first impressions by pledging to my Patreon, linked in the description. And Charlotte and I will be back soon. Catch you later.